And by cutting these pieces, these candies, you're going to pretend they're rocks, into small pieces. It's like weathering the rock into little sediments. And all of these little sediments are broken down pieces of rock. Now we've got these sediments, and we're going to use some pressure, and we're just going to apply that pressure with our hands. So these guys are going to pick up their sediments and just use their hands, a little bit of heat from their body there, and they're going to add lots of pressure from their hands, and they're going to start putting those sediments, and you'll see they'll make a sedimentary rock. Just a little bit of pressure, and they're pressing it in, and heat from their hands. For this next step, we're going to change these sedimentary rocks, just sediments pressed to, right now we just have sedimentary rock, which is sediments pressed together, lots of pressure, a little bit of heat, and making these rocks. Now what these guys are going to do is add even more pressure. So we're using saran wrap here. You can put these in a sandwich bag or a plastic bag of some kind. These guys are heating up their hands. They want to get some body heat going here because they need more heat than they had in the last to make the sedimentary rock. This metamorphic rock needs even more heat. So they're going to heat up their hands and start adding a lot more pressure. So they're really going to press, really going to put a ton of pressure. They've got that saran wrap so it doesn't stick to them. They can pick it up and move it around. Not necessarily making it flat, but they're just putting a ton more pressure on it. And since these are candies, they're pretty sticky, so we're using saran wrap and paper plates so they don't stick to everything. Okay, now we're looking at a metamorphic rock. We had added more heat and more pressure to that sediment rock, and now it's changed a little bit and is metamorphic rock. And now we're going to move it to its next phase. So for this next phase, we need to go to the microwave. And we're going to really add a lot of heat. So we're adding a ton more heat, way more heat than our body could do to that rock. It was metamorphic. Add some heat to it. And let's see what happens to that rock. Starting to liquefy. All right, let's check in on it here. Right in there. And you can see it liquefied. It's got bubbles in it. This is now magma. So we turn that metamorphic rock with more heat into magma. You're going to see it's now starting to cool because we don't have it heated in the microwave. And you're going to see it start getting a gloss on there. And when it does cool down, when that magma cools down, it becomes an igneous rock. Okay, now that the magma has cooled, it's become an igneous rock. Joe's going to kind of give it a little pull here and show that it's now back to a solid. It's also got a little bit of a gloss to it. And now if this igneous rock were to break apart and pieces were to fall off of it, those pieces could go back into sediments and start that whole rock cycle again. So those sediments could then get pressed into these sediments could get pressed into sedimentary rock, and then add more heat and pressure till you get metamorphic rock, and even more heat till you get igneous rock. Break back down into pieces and repeat the cycle. And here you can see a diagram of the sediments and how they become sedimentary rock, how you add some heat and pressure and that becomes a metamorphic rock, how you add even more heat to that, becomes magma, cool it down, igneous rock, and then repeat the cycle all over again.